league on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game.
Who knows what we're in store for here, and it's coming up next on Madden NFL 25.
Well, we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And as we look at this matchup, every time there's something different to focus on. So I'll just ask you, what do you see here in this one?
Well, Rembrandt, you've given me a pretty blank canvas to focus on, haven't you?
Yeah.
Where do you think I'm going to go with this?
Oh, secondary?
You know me well, right? In a game like this, it's always about the secondary. Can they handle the passing attack and make a few plays?
On to get us started now, the kicker, Chris Boswell. And off we go from Tampa. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. Orchestrating the offense will be the top pick in the 2018 draft, and that's Baker Mayfield.
And he's a guy who plays with a lot of emotion. He's learned how to channel it really positively, because when he throws the football downfield and makes a big play, he'll be the first guy downfield to celebrate with you. But also, when his team needs that confidence, when they need that jolt, they turn to him, and he's ready to provide it.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
But one of the things we talked about coming into this was that we were never going to question the fight that he's going to have for all 4 quarters of a game. But ideally, you want him fighting for big plays and first downs early, not fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as we saw right there.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. Not too shabby here. This will skip out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. So here are the Steelers backed up to start their initial drive. They'll be led out by their 5'11" quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
First carry for Najee Harris. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there at a first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
First down, and they go back to Harris. Takes it to about the 37.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Well, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Here's a 2nd down and 7 from the 37. Now Wilson. A short one there to Freiermuth. And Freiermuth going to have a Steelers first down as he'll get this up past the 45.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They run again with Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Here's Wilson. He's got this to Pickens. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 22-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Well, another completion right there. And again, Charles, good time in the pocket. That offensive line on this opening drive been really solid.
They've been more than solid. They've really tamped down the pass rush and kept him safe in the pocket, able to look around, find his target, and deliver. He's got to make sure he tells the offensive line in the huddle, thanks, fellas. Let's keep it going.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did that time for a loss.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Harris running straight ahead. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. They got to get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good, and the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their 2nd drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Mayfield looks to throw. That is caught, and he is going going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 14 yards that time for number 14. 3-0 after one on EA Sports. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. In motion left, Shepard. Now Mayfield. Finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. And he goes out of bounds and looks like right at the 50.
All right, say it with me now. There are a lot of different words we come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty?
Yep.
Wiley? Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names?
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch.
Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big third down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll try and run here with Irvin. And he is going to have the Bucs first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Here's Mayfield. This is Shepard on the catch. He won't find a ton of space following the display of power as he's down just inside the 45.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
But if you're going to have a relay race, you're probably going to pick your backs and receivers to run it, but don't underestimate the conditioning of the offensive line. They're out there just dictating things, staying on the field, and keeping a long drive going.
So they need 2 yards here on third down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on third down conversions on this drive. They go play action. Mayfield out to the right here to Shepard. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on third down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away no good. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
Harris starts the drive on the ground. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and 6. Play action. Now Wilson. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
To throw is Wilson. A short one there to Freiermuth. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that'll make it second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 9. Wilson. They'll get this into the hands of Van Jefferson. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 31-yard line. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. Oh, fighting off the defender. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 51 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. That's Kalijah Cansey in to get him down. Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now Wilson. He finds Pickens over the middle. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. From the shotgun, Wilson. This is caught by Williams. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a letdown defensively because they had them stacked up 3rd and long, and you know their thought process had to be just make the tackle in front of the sticks and force the 3. Instead, they allowed him room to run, and now they're facing 1st and goal, looking to regroup.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Wilson to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. A good display of power, but ultimately it gets him just inside the 5 to the 4 and no further. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Second and goal from inside the 5. To throw again is Wilson. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Pat Freiermuth from 4 yards out. And the Steelers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. And what I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half. And that'll give us momentum going into the second half. Give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead grows to 10-0. A 10-play drive that time. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Well, the Bucs going to take over now late in this first half. They're certainly in need of some kind of points here before the end of the half. A field goal or something, being shut out right now. They could really use some momentum before they head into halftime. From the gun, Mayfield. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing, Mayfield. It's hauled in by Shepard. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Third down and 1. Mayfield. Able to find the open man. That's complete. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeout. Going to the air again with Mayfield. His throw incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And that's complete to Shepard. The Bucs forced to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Mayfield with it once more. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And his kick is indeed good, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point a drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward. Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Steeler offense ready to get going to begin this third quarter. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Play action. It's Wilson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Call it a loss loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain.
After the sack, you could understand him maybe being a little bit nervous back there, a little skittish, but looked awfully decisive when he took off and ran.
Very decisive and picked up that 1st down in the process. Here's Wilson. He's airing it out for Williams. And that's going to be incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the 2nd half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Completes it to Austin. That'll leave him with a 3rd and